Warning, the following content may contain spoilers for film and television programs. It is also intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Guys,
welcome back.
Back for what? Episode 10 now?
Episode 10.
Yeah.
You know, we made it 8 episodes
without missing one.
Without missing one, and we had to finally use a filler podcast.
I listened to that one not too long ago, and it's actually pretty good, though, I must say.
Yeah, it really is. I was impressed. Those are the kind of questions that I love bullshitting about.
I mean, that's kind of shit we sit around and talk about just on a random day anyways. Like,
exactly.
So, what are your favorite 3 of this category? And we just talk about them for hours.
We go to, like, Bears, we get a burger, and we just talk about stupid-ass movies.
So, okay, introductions?
Yes. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew Ormsby, drinking, as always, my Johnny Walker Black Label.
I'm Zach Chadwick, and I'm drinking coffee with some Baileys in it.
Always good, always good. And I'm Austin Fairbairn, got a Liney Cool Summer Shandy.
Yes.
The best.
Warming up, little shandies.
The finest.
It's good for the soul.
I'm a Sunset Wheat guy myself. But, Austin,
yes.
Today is your birthday.
It is my birthday.
Congrats on
Thank you.
Getting 1 year older.
23 now.
The world has gone around the sun one more time. We didn't think it would be able to, but
it made it.
It did. So, Zach and I have a present for you, something that is dear to our heart that we hope that you will enjoy as we have. It is our fat head of Channing Tatum in Magic Mike.
Oh my god.
Yes.
No.
My wife is going to love this.
No, I'm joking. Okay.
Oh.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Fight Club.
All right. So, for you, I got a 4-foot Fight Club poster.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome, man.
Let's see this bad boy.
Take a look at it.
This is
That
really
is
mad.
It was mine, so it does have some wear and tear on
That's
it.
That's okay. Let's roll this bad boy out.
That's fucking cool. That's good shit right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you approve?
I absolutely approve. How can you not approve?
You're going to look at that and worship it every night before you go to bed.
I'll just hang it up on my ceiling right above my bed.
There you go.
I wasn't going to suggest it. I'm glad you did.
Your wife's going to be like, I don't like that, honey. You got to take that down. You're like,
No.
shut up.
No, she'll call me or you and be like, God damn you both.
You know what? I'll put Brad Pitt's face above her side of the bed. I think she'll be okay
there
with
you
it.
go. She doesn't like
I'll
that.
look at Edward
Everybody
Norton.
wins.
I don't care.
Everybody wins.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Are we going to pop right into my see it, skip it opinion?
Let's do it.
I think we should.
Okay. Well, I was going to do my see it, skip it opinion on the Grand Budapest Hotel because I thought it was an amazing movie and it'd be fun to talk about how Ralph Fiennes was just hilarious. And he's probably going to... Are you having a seizure?
What the hell was that?
To hold in a yawn. You said don't bring it to the fucking mic.
I swear to God, I thought you were having a stroke. I was like, oh no, it's happening.
Anyway.
Yeah, but I started thinking that, you know, we've only been giving our see it, skip it opinions on films so far. So I decided that for this week, I'm going to give my opinion on a TV show, Fargo. Are you okay, dude?
I'm fucking exhausted. I'm trying to hold in a yawn so I don't yawn into the mic like this.
So what station is Fargo even on? I think
It's on FX.
FX, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was a major fan of the Coen Brothers film from back in '96. You know, it had William H. Macy and Steve Buscemi. They were hilarious. So, you know, I was kind of nervous about them making a TV show. I was afraid it was going to ruin a great film, but I figured, you know, I'd give it a chance. I like Martin Freeman, and, you know, I even like Billy Bob. He can be good sometimes, but it turns out that it was more than good.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, more than good. From episode 1, I was hooked. This show has everything you could want. Comedy, violence, drama, suspense, and of course, you know, major plot twists that you didn't see coming. Martin Freeman's accent is a little over the top in some points, but it's a very hard accent to do.
Is it like that north?
It's that Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Minnesota.
Oh yeah.
Even the people listening to us right now from Minnesota are like, fucking idiots,
fucking
you're doing it
assholes.
wrong. It's not Minnesota, it's Minnesota.
No, dude, it's always Minnesota.
Yeah, they're like, those are the people from North Dakota. That's how they talk. Okay, I'm going to stop that now because we're going to piss some people off. But it's a very hard accent to do. That's my point. And especially somebody from Europe, it's going to be even more difficult. Other than that, his performance is great. And I think, honestly, this is the role that Billy Bob Thornton was born to play. He's creepy, he's funny, he's intense. I'm excited to see where the show goes from here. And for me, it is a definite see it.
Interesting. I'll check that
I'm
out.
surprised when I saw that they were making that into a show. I couldn't believe that Martin Freeman was on it.
Yeah.
But
Also, for those of you who don't know, this show is not really based on true events. If you guys remember from the movie,
yeah.
it said based on true events.
This is not.
It's
got to be its own storyline to carry on for seasons and seasons,
Well, even the movie wasn't based on real events. It was just a joke they put in there. They do it in the show, too, in the beginning. They're like,
Really?
Oh, really?
In the movie, it said this is based on true events that took place in Minnesota in 1987. Well, in the show, it says this is true events that took place in Minnesota in 2006.
Oh.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm really happy with the show. It's great so far. There's only 3 episodes. I don't think it's on Hulu Plus. I looked for it, and you could click on it there, but it says you don't get access to it.
Have you guys seen Bates Motel?
No, it's on a Netflix.
Doesn't
I know that.
appeal to me at all.
Really? I've heard decent things about it, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I know people are super into it. I just don't care because I don't. It's whatever.
I like Psycho. Hitchcock was a great film, but I don't know how I'd feel about a TV show version of it. I think the movie was just good enough for me. But then again, that's how I felt about Fargo. So, who knows? So, see it. Don't skip it. It is well worth your time. Are we going to pop into some news? News! We're going to have to get like a soundboard or something with like...
with these, like a radio station?
A radio station.
No one wants to hear us sing in harmony.
Exactly. First bit of news, of course, Bob Hoskins passing away at the age of 71 from pneumonia. He retired 2 years ago from acting because he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Do you guys remember the last movie he was in, Snow White and the Huntsman? Did you see that?
I haven't seen it, but I heard it's good.
It's actually not that bad. I was surprised. I remember Bob Hoskins from, 88 film Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
As probably most
as
everyone
Eddie
does.
Valiant.
Like I said earlier, I've watched that movie so many times.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Oh, I love it. It was
He's
great.
been in a lot of stuff. He was in Hook.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was in the Mario Brothers, which probably everybody wants to forget.
Yeah, it was... I remember seeing that movie as a kid and thinking it was okay. Watching it again as an adult, it was kind of hard to watch.
Doesn't hold up at all.
Yeah. But you know what? We remember it and we're talking about it.
That's true. Okay, the original Dumbledore.
Richard Harris.
Didn't he have Parkinson's? Wasn't he the one that died of Parkinson's?
I don't think he died from Parkinson's. I think he died because he was old as hell.
Oh, I thought he had Parkinson's.
Wait.
I don't know. Let me look.
Dumbledore was played by somebody else besides Michael Gambon?
The first two.
The first two was
Richard
guy.
Harris.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
they
and then
replaced him.
he died as they were getting ready to start filming the third one. And so I think they had originally... They were like, oh, we might get Ian McKellen, we might get Chris Lee. No, we're going to do Michael Gambon. Michael Gambon's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know. It's been forever since I've seen the original, like the first couple Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, back when that happened, everyone was like, how the fuck can you have Dumbledore and Gandalf played by the same guy?
He died from a cancer.
that's
Hodgkin's
a shame.
disease or something.
So apparently I'm just full of shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just trying to help out.
But as for Bob Hoskins, loved him. He will definitely be missed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what else we got? Something hopefully a little bit happier.
Yeah. David Goyer joins up with James Cameron for the reimagining of the 1966 film Fantastic Voyage.
It's okay. Real fast before you continue. Every time I hear Fantastic Voyage,
The Coolio song?
No, I think of Superbad, Vagtastic Voyage. At the beginning when they're fighting around the porno. Like, oh man, the Fantastic Voyage. Every time I hear that, that's all I think of.
That movie's so damn funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Yes, that was well worth it. Okay, David Goyer, you guys know him, of course. He writer for the Dark Knight trilogy, Man of Steel, and the upcoming Batman vs Superman film. Did you guys see the original Fantastic Voyage?
No, I did not.
It's about then. Back then, it was about I think it was about a politician or a senator or something. This new one's going to be about this brilliant scientist. So that's the only thing I know they're switching up. But he's dying of a blood clot, and the only way to save him is to transform a crew and a submarine to a microscopic size and inject it into his bloodstream.
Magic School Bus, anybody?
Okay.
Is Miss Frizzle going to be in this movie?
I remember that episode of Magic School Bus where I don't know how that episode of Magic School Bus ever got aired because the kid ate the school bus and he had to shit it out.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I remember the episode because they showed poop. I was like,
Hey, it was educational, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody poops, man. Haven't you read the book?
Yeah. Honestly, the only thing I remember from the original Fantastic Voyage was Raquel Welch, who is super fine, and for me, gets the Wayne's World seal of approval. Swing!
Double swing.
I'm so glad you guys knew what I was talking about. I was afraid I was going to be the only one who did that.
Me? I love that movie.
Wayne's World.
Okay.
Guest host Claudia Schiffer.
Yeah.
The number one comment on this podcast is going to be, for the love of God, stop singing.
Yeah, hey, we're going to get a soundboard eventually. We're going to do all that stuff. But right now we're just busy and lazy.
For me, it's mainly lazy.
Yeah. Next bit of news. Kind of sad news. Hugh Jackman says the next Wolverine movie will, in all likelihood, be his last as Wolverine.
Like I said, I feel like that's probably like par for the course.
How?
Like he's been in how many of them, and he's
Yeah.
getting older.
How old is he? He was
46.
born in 68, so he's 45.
Oh, he's so close.
Damn it,
That was a
I
guess.
hope I look that good when I'm 45.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't look that good now.
I mean, it's there. They're already talking about people to replace him.
I don't know
who they get.
I don't know who they get because I don't think there's anybody more perfect.
Honestly, I think when stuff like this happens, they need to give it time.
Yeah.
They think, okay, here's, our cash cow, let's replace them right away so we can keep making movies.
Can't do it.
But you shouldn't. You should give it some time off before you start making them again. Because or else you're always going to be compared to that,
Exactly.
Hugh Jackman versus if you give it, 5, 6, 7 years.
You know what they could do? Like, they're making this X-Men Days of Future Past, so he's in that, right? So the one after that's going to be Age of Apocalypse. So that's what, 2016, 2017, something like that.
Yeah.
The tease into the next one could be like them meeting young Wolverine. So it would be the new actor. So let's say 4 or 5 years from now.
Yeah.
That's doable.
I could see that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We got a question, actually. Has an actor ever been more known for playing a superhero? I'd like to refer you to the names of Christopher Reeve, Linda Carter, or even, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Christopher Reeve's definitely for me. Like, that's the only thing I really know Christopher Reeves from is Superman.
Exactly. So. People know Hugh Jackman from other movies, like Prisoners, for example.
Great movie.
Yeah.
The only thing you can compare it to is like Mark Hamill will always be Luke Skywalker. Elijah Wood will always be Frodo Baggins. Ian McKellen will always be Gandalf. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. You know what I mean? Daniel Radcliffe will always be Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Emma Watson, even though she's hot, will always be Hermione, as well as being hot. And it's not creepy for me to say that.
Well, I grew up with her. She is of age, okay? We grew up at the same time.
It's not creepy. It's like, okay, me and my wife were watching Modern Family the other day. And, there's the family with the 2 girls and then the kid who's kind of weird. So the youngest girl is like supposed to be 16 in the show. And we're watching this the other day, and I'm like, what the... And no, I didn't say what the hell. I said, well. And Lauren looks at me, my wife, and says, what? And I looked at the screen, and I paused it. Have you ever noticed how they try to accentuate her tits in that show? And I'm not trying to be creepy.
Wait, what?
In Modern Family, have you noticed the 2 girls? The family with the 2 girls and the weird kid. They try to accentuate the boobs of the younger girl almost every time.
The
she's
nerdy
on
one?
screen. Yes, every time. And my wife looks at me and she says, "You would notice that." Well, I'm not trying to be creepy. They
Maybe-
put it out there.
Maybe she's just getting older, and it's what happens to young women.
Whatever.
Costume design's like, fuck
I'm
it. We couldn't make
simply
these tops
saying-
bigger, but you know.
Anyway, I don't really know how I came to that.
But
We missed.
Christopher Reeve, he is Superman.
Yeah.
Linda Carter is Wonder Woman. You know, Robert Downey Jr. He's known for other movies, but he has made $105 million just playing Iron Man.
That
That
sounds
makes way
about
more
right.
sense. Yeah.
Okay, because he made $50 million alone for Avengers.
Yeah. No-
Damn.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Well, he was the star. He had the most screen time.
That's true, but still,
Yeah.
that's a big chunk of change. Okay, so we got next. Okay, I got this one. Almost Human is canceled by Fox.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you guys think? Is this going to be one that's just kind of forgotten, or is this going to be another one of those, well, fuck you, Fox, you canceled another what could have been iconic show?
What kind of ratings is the show getting?
Very average.
Yeah, I was going to say they can't be that great.
Honestly, I like Carl Urban. He's a really cool guy. And the one guy with the really cool eyes, he's pretty good. I saw him in that one movie with Kevin Hart the other night. It was really funny. But for me, Almost Human is just going to be a forgotten show.
I'm sure it will be. I mean,
It's not Firefly. It's not Dollhouse. It's not any of those.
It's
put-
a
I
cool
put-
concept.
Oh, it was, but
it's kind of the TV version of iRobot.
It looks like it's got an 8.3 on IMDb.
what was that guy's name? I forget.
Michael Ealy.
Yeah. Okay.
What's he in?
He was in, like I said, that movie with Kevin Hart.
Oh, he's been in Underworld, Too Fast, Too Furious, which was terrible. Las Vegas, which I haven't seen.
Is that even out
And
yet?
some other shit.
Las Vegas looks really funny. That's
that
another.
movie was out last year sometime.
Was it?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see it because it's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I was thinking of the other movie. Yeah, Las Vegas. I knew.
what are you thinking of?
There's a new movie coming out with Michael Ealy and Kevin Hart where they go to Vegas and they try to have a better party than the girls are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
About
the
last
Bachelor, Bachelorette
night?
parties.
Yeah, the bachelor
About
party
last
versus
night.
the
Yeah,
bachelor.
that's it.
Yeah,
No,
Kevin Hart is in fucking everything right now.
yeah.
because the guy
is
is
blowing
freaking
up.
hilarious.
He's very funny. His stand up is
His
awesome.
his last stand up I didn't think was very good. His last one that's out on Netflix now.
The
is the
Let
one.
Me Explain one
Yeah.
with the fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually thought it was pretty funny. It wasn't his funniest,
It wasn't as fun.
but it was still really
I'm thinking
funny.
of the one that he did where like Shaq and LeBron were in the crowd.
Okay, that was hands down the funniest
that was
one.
really
Yeah.
good.
Because I don't think just seeing LeBron laugh his ass off was hilarious. Speaking of NBA and
yes.
Kevin Hart, did you guys see on Facebook? He posted a Vine, Kevin Hart did, and it said, "I was going to buy the Clippers, but the way my bank account is set up, I have all my money in the savings and not my checking. And before I put the money in my checking, it wouldn't go through."
That's funny.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
No, I think Almost Human is probably going to go the way of kind of like Heroes.
Yeah, well, it's not like
I
Heroes
think-
because Heroes is coming back.
Yeah,
but-
Heroes
Well,
had
for,
a much bigger
it's a
following
miniseries.
than
Yeah.
It's not coming back.
Do you think that Fargo is going to be a miniseries, or do you think it's going to be an actual series, like a season?
That to me spells miniseries.
It does to me too, but FX doesn't do a whole lot of miniseries.
No, they really don't.
Yeah.
FX is like one of the non-premium cable networks
it actually puts out
that
good content.
puts out good shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of cable networks, I like that segue.
Oh yeah, nice segue.
Beautiful.
AT&T has approached DirecTV for possible acquisition. DirecTV is the second largest paid TV provider, serving around 20 million customers.
You know what? I mean, this isn't as bad as what the Comcast, what was it?
Time Warner.
Time Warner
Yeah.
deal. That pisses me off because that's straight up fucking vertical integration bullshit, like monopolizing. You know how much market share those two companies take
Oh
up?
no, I agree with you. I was
Yeah.
just that's why it pisses you off.
Yeah,
though.
because
Okay.
if they want to raise their prices to absurd amounts, they totally can, because who the fuck's going to stop them?
Not Mediacom.
Not me yet.
fuck those
fuckers.
people.
Basically, there used to be lots of
We'll
companies.
never get them as a sponsor.
There used to be lots of companies. Now there's a few companies, and they can control the prices
Well, it's
how
not
they
just
want.
it's not just in cable though. It's phone companies are like that now.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's
but you know what? I could give a shit less about my cell phone. but I care a lot more about my movie and TV
Entertainment.
content.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, maybe that's just because of who we are and our biases towards this end of the spectrum. But honestly, I mean, I don't really care if I have Sprint, AT&T, whatever. Like, I'll pay for whatever I need for my phone. It's not a big deal. But when it comes to my internet content and my movies and my streaming, like, I want my shit and I want it now, and I don't want it to be ridiculously expensive.
You know what I want? I want Google Fiber. That's what I want.
Yeah, me too.
I talked about this a few weeks ago. My friend up in Kansas City, like, he just got Google Fiber.
Yeah, Kansas City was the first city to get Google Fiber.
Yep.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Austin.
I know Austin has it.
Is
Yeah,
getting
Austin
it.
has it now.
They're parts of Austin have it, not the whole city. But yeah.
When's it coming here?
Like
Probably not for a while.
9 years or so, probably.
Well, whatever.
Well,
Real quick, before you go to the next thing, I read an article a few days ago. Netflix is going to incrementally raise their prices. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
They're going to not raise it to like, $10. They're going to do $1-$2 like at a time up to like $12.
Yeah.
It's weird. I feel like I'm clairvoyant.
Well, and also they mentioned that already current customers, they're not going to raise for a while, but new customers are going to go up at a certain rate, and then the old customers are eventually going to catch up to them.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of nice too. They're giving a little bit of like a grace period for current users, which is most everybody anyway.
You called it, Zach.
Also, I don't know if we talked about it or not, but did you see that Amazon Instant Video signed a distribution deal with HBO?
HBO, I wrote that down on my piece of paper. I am excited.
Is that what you're talking
that.
about? The news bit?
No, that's not the news
Oh.
bit. But no, I'm super excited because I know you both have HBO Go.
Not anymore. I got
do.
rid of it.
And I will, because I'm going to Uverse. Fuck Mediacom.
Yeah. You guys really hate Mediacom.
No, here's the thing.
I
We
fuck
talked
that
about this.
place.
I've defended
Fuck 'em.
them. I've defended them for years. Okay, I've always said they're not that bad. I've never really had any bad experiences
Not
until
me.
about 6 months ago when this shit started. I get all of my content from the internet. I don't have cable. I have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO Go, which I share with someone else. So when they send me a notice that says we're going to put a cap usage, data cap on your monthly usage, 250 gigs a month, and all I get is my shit off the internet, that pisses me off. I pay $56, almost $60 a month for nothing but internet service.
Google Fiber has a cap on it too,
You're
don't
going to
you?
give me unlimited access.
Yeah, but what's the cap on it?
It's a terabyte.
I was going to say, it's got to be massive.
Yeah, it's not
If
comparable
it was
at
a
all.
terabyte, I would understand.
Yeah,
Because goddamn, if
that's a
you're
lot
using
of
a
fucking
terabyte of
data,
data
yeah.
a month, something's wrong.
You're running your own server
250
somewhere.
gigabytes a month. I'm doing that just watching
Netflix. and shit, yeah.
Netflix.
Well, I've actually heard of people who have Google Fiber that reach that data limit, and Google's actually dropping them, from their
It wouldn't surprise me because I mean, honestly, that's a lot of data. They're giving you a lot of leeway there.
Well, what are those people doing?
who knows?
They got to be running all kinds of websites and shit off of it.
Because if all you're doing is streaming and playing video games, browsing the internet, you're not even going to come close to that.
Maybe half of that,
maybe
and that's if you're
500
going
at
to town.
the most. I'm coming to 250 just watching streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited about HBO Go. A lot of people were like, well, they wanted more from them, but they really can't. As a subscribed television program, this is as much as I'd expect them to do, and I'm happy that they're doing.
What are you paying right now for Amazon Instant?
$40-something a year.
A year, yeah.
Oh, are you shitting me?
$49.95
It's
a year.
legit.
I'm getting that shit because,
That's
like
what
I said, I got rid of my Uverse TV,
Now,
so
none of the
I
new
need my
stuff's going to be
HBO.
on there.
Right, it's old stuff. It's their
Right
back
now,
catalog.
there's a 3-year gap.
And not Entourage.
3-year gap.
3-year gap.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck!
Yeah.
So,
So
like the first season of Game of Thrones will appear next year.
Next year.
Well, then
Yeah.
it's
And-
not
and-
worth it.
and then
I don't need it. I have HBO. Or I have Hulu Plus and Netflix. I won't need it then.
Yeah, Netflix. This
If you're wanting to watch current content on HBO, it won't help you out. It's all back catalog
this
stuff.
is really like
But they have a lot of great old shows, which I
I
love.
still think
Yeah.
that HBO needs to have their own provisions, like Netflix
I'm with
does.
that.
Pay a monthly
Absolutely.
subscription.
The
Get it
thing-
on your Xbox. Get it on your
The
computer.
thing is, it would be so expensive for them to do it. And for them to be able to make money off of it, it would have to be so expensive that it wouldn't be worth it. Because say they make everything available, like say they basically have HBO Go, where anybody can sign up for it, whether you have HBO or not, for a set amount of money. If you did that, no one's gonna pay for actual HBO because they can just watch everything on HBO Go. Why would you pay for HBO if you can just get HBO Go?
You can't get HBO Go without an HBO.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's what you're talking about. Is if you had like a Netflix type thing where it's all online content of HBO.
Just stream it. Yeah, why wouldn't that work? It'd be just like the Netflix model. You charge $10 a month. You have 35 million subscribers.
And you put all the new HBO stuff on there.
Sure.
Okay,
then no one would buy the TV HBO subscription.
You wouldn't need it.
You wouldn't need it.
Okay, here's the thing with
exactly.
Netflix.
How much does a subscription to HBO cost? It's $20 a month.
Oh, is it $20 a month?
Yeah,
I thought it was more or less than that.
No, it's at least $20 a month on most major like DirecTV, all that kind of stuff. It's at least $20 to add the HBO package and everything.
I bet it would be cheaper if they didn't have to do that though, because then you wouldn't have to pay like AT&T and other people just to have your program shared
but
on
that didn't affect HBO's bottom line.
Sure it does. They have to pay them.
Yeah.
No,
I guarantee you
it would be the other way around. The cable companies would pay HBO.
Cable companies are going to HBO. HBO is
that
not
makes
going to cable
sense.
companies. HBO is making those cable companies way more money than it's costing them.
Right, so that the model for them actually works more. That makes sense.
Mediacom's going to HBO saying, you have content people want to watch and they will pay extra to get it. We want you. HBO's not going, oh, we really need a network to go on.
Plus,
they've already got them.
Plus, that's not counting.
Hooked.
They're making tons of money off licensing and merchandise.
Absolutely.
And shit,
so say it's even $15 a month. Say it's $5 less than probably what it normally would be just for HBO Go. Would you pay that? Because you're paying.
Yes.
You're basically paying double what you would for Netflix and Hulu.
But I'm getting double the quality of what I.
But you're getting about a 64th of the content.
That's true. But for True Detective and Game of Thrones. Fuck yeah, I'd pay $16 a month. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. But not everybody would. That's
no,
just
not
thing,
everybody would. But you're exactly
that's the
right.
reason they didn't just make like an HBO Go type thing, like a Netflix type thing, just open like anyone can enroll for it, is because no one would actually pay for the HBO subscription for TV, and they would lose so much money.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Last question, unless you have something you want to add.
What's your news bit that you're teasing about? Or you want to wait till after this?
No, I'll go ahead and mention it. I already mentioned to you, Ben Affleck.
Oh my God!
Oh, got banned from the casino.
All right,
Ain't
Austin.
that some shit?
Austin, take it away.
Okay, so he's at a Las Vegas casino, the Hard Rock Las Vegas.
Been there. It's nice.
Playing blackjack. And there's actually some more reports coming out now that get a little bit more light. Originally, they said he wasn't counting cards, but he was just doing too well for them to let him to continue. Now there's a couple people that are saying he was counting cards. And so they basically, but they didn't kick him out of the casino completely. They didn't ban him from it. They banned him from the blackjack tables.
You know what? I'm of the opinion that if you're smart enough to count cards in a casino, you should be able to count cards.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything less. I don't know of any casino that I can think of that is less than 2-deck blackjack.
Oh, no, yeah.
So you get up to 3, 4, 5-deck blackjack. The numbers are astronomical. You have to be one smart motherfucker to count cards.
Oh yeah, watch 21.
So if he wants to count, if he's able to count cards, that's just, to me, every time I hear a story about that where casinos are banning people from counting cards, that's a bitch move.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Like, it's not illegal to count cards, but casinos are privately owned companies and they can make whatever fucking rules they want. And obviously they don't want to lose money. So I think it's stupid too, but like they can do what they want.
It puts out the vibe of being a sore loser.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I get it, but it's just,
I just thought it was really funny. He was just in Runner, a couple years ago, where he's like the big casino mogul.
I haven't seen that. Is that any good?
Has Justin Timberlake in it? You haven't seen it?
No. Man, the man is
no, it wasn't bad. It was okay. But no, I just thought it was funny, like that he got kicked out of, didn't really kicked out, but removed from a table at a casino. It's Ben Affleck, that doesn't happen.
No, Ben Affleck, and I think the only reason they didn't ban him from the casino is because he's Ben Affleck, which is fine.
I made the joke, you think you see him at a blackjack table, that'd probably bring more business to you. You got fucking Ben Affleck, let's go play blackjack with him,
Yeah.
Real quick, I put this on Facebook a couple days ago, but there's a show on Hulu that I think is on NBC too. It's called Celebrity Game Night. Jane Lynch brings a bunch of celebrities, 6 celebrities, and then 2 regular people, and they play games and shit. And the one person can win $25,000, and the celebrity puts money to charity. Yeah. Well, they had Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis on an episode the other night, and I heard somebody say that Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde are apparently married and have a child.
Yeah,
I want to give that guy a high five.
Yeah, well done.
Olivia Wilde is fine.
Oh yeah, she is.
Does she get the Wayne's World seal of approval?
Swing. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, you go.
I guess sometimes being funny pays off. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Speaking of Olivia Wilde, Zach, question about Game of Thrones.
What a segue.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do from now on. Just awful segues to the next bit. So speaking of Game of Thrones, how do you feel about HBO spoiling the existence of a character that hasn't even appeared in a book yet?
I've been thinking about this since you said you were going to ask it, I think on Tuesday. And man, here's the thing. Okay.
Wait. Are we going to get a rage rant? It's
quite
been,
possibly. Yes.
Oh, we have not got a rage rant in
quite some time.
So do you want to just go on
it
1
might
minute?
be longer than a minute.
Okay.
Because there's a lot to say.
Well, quickly before you do so, which character is this? I watched the episode, but I don't read the book, so I don't know which ones have been.
The guy at the end that took the baby to the White Walker city.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. HBO, before the episode started, and they quickly took it down when a Redditor pointed it out, the character's name is the Night's King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love Song of Ice and Fire. I love Game of Thrones. They are two separate things. Anything that happens in the show is completely separate from what happens in the books, and you have to do that. People don't seem to understand that you can't get everything translated from book to TV or book to movie or whatever. It's not fucking possible. It isn't. It's either, if you did that, it would be boring, or you would still bitch about something else. People are never fucking happy. Here's the thing. People. No, I can't even formulate words.
It's getting all worked up.
He has been mentioned in the books more than once. He hasn't appeared yet. All you can do is they're getting to shit now that they think might be spoilers. So people are automatically going to jump to the conclusion, oh, it's spoilers for the book. How do you fucking know that? The only person that knows that is George R. R. Martin, who writes the books. You can't sit there and say, oh, it's spoiler. Well, if it's spoilery and you don't like it, don't fucking watch the show.
Can that character and or creature even talk?
The Night's King, I don't know.
Because isn't he one of the other people?
Well, there's others and there's White Walkers. There's two different.
He's an other in the book, wouldn't he be?
Yeah.
He was Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
The third.
And then he saw a beautiful White Walker woman, and they boned and fucked, and they had a kid. And when he gave his, he had his moment. He gave his soul to her.
Splooge.
His moment. That was so beautiful.
He gave his soul to her.
He let it go.
Then he came back to the Night's Watch.
Let it go.
He came back to the Night's Watch and started doing human sacrifices, some scary shit, to the point where the Starks and the King Beyond the Wall teamed together and killed this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I love the fandom, but there's two sections of the fandom. There's book readers and there's show watchers. And there's a section coming up out of the book readers called book elitists. People that hold their nose up to people that only watch the show and think, you guys don't know, they're not true fans. That's the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. I follow uncounted amounts of pages of Game of Thrones on Facebook. I'm starting to unfollow them because I'm tired of people bitching. It's separate. Keep it separate. Perfect example, when Lord of the Rings came out. If you ever read the books, it's totally different than the movie. They get to the same place.
Yeah.
Benioff and Weiss are obviously good at their job, or else they wouldn't be running the fucking show.
They do a great job.
Yeah.
It's not spoiler. You don't know what a spoiler is. You haven't read the fucking book.
Well, yeah. No, even not reading the book, I can tell you like that. Even if I had, I don't think that spoils anything because he doesn't do anything or say anything that would. I don't know. Like he doesn't.
It's like this is something else that goes along with this. It seems like recently in geekdom, fans think they're entitled to shit. They aren't entitled to shit.
Yeah.
As a writer, you're a writer.
Yeah.
Martin can write whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh, it's his baby. He can do what the hell he wants.
Exactly. So the biggest fan theory out there is that. Do you care if I tell you this? It's not going to spoil anything for you. The biggest fan theory out there is that Jon is not actually Ned's son, but his sister's son, fathered by Rhaegar Targaryen, Daenerys' brother.
So he's actually a Targaryen.
Exactly. The merging of ice and fire. That's the prevalent theory. If it comes out in the next book that he's not and he's just some bitch's son, people are going to be so pissed and hate him for it. I'm worried now that it's getting to the point that he's getting so fed up with it that he's going to say, fuck it, I'm not finishing.
Yeah. And you obviously don't want that great fucking series, but...
People need to cool their jets. That was longer than a minute, but it pisses me off.
That's all right. We can move on to trailer talk, right?
Speaking of jets, here's some trailer talk.
Jesus. God, this is going to go on, isn't it?
I love it. I love it.
All right, trailer talk. So, the first trailer that we're going to talk about is The Leftovers, the new HBO series. Where the 2% of the world's population just disappears in an instant.
Yeah. No, this looks fucking awesome.
It looks really, really fucking good.
Wasn't there a... what's that guy's name from Growing Pains? Mike Cameron or some shit.
Yeah.
Didn't he do a book like Left Behind that was kind of similar?
Oh,
to this,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
Christian.
Yeah, this isn't that.
This looks like a much better version than that.
Yeah, Left Behind, not the best.
I really like the kind of the cult aspect they add to this, where it's like, these people are gone and they have no idea what happened to their family members and their friends. Like, they're just gone. They have no idea. People are trying to like make recompense and like try to figure out what the fuck happened. And as a lot of humans do, they jump to kind of wild conclusions and they form a cult.
Yeah.
And I think I love that aspect of it, where it's not just like, one group of humans trying to figure out what the hell happened to everyone, that there's also more humans that are like on a completely different like scale and, mind wave of these people, like trying to figure out what, it's more human.
I personally
based.
love it when things like this try to capture what happens when civilization breaks down. Not once people have figured it out, but once civilization breaks down. Two perfect scenes in that captured it perfectly in Dawn of the Dead, the remake, when I think her name's Rhoda Mitchell or some shit like that, is leaving. Like, she doesn't know. She wakes up, shit's going down. She's driving the car. You see the semi blowing up. What the fuck's going on? And then did you see World War Z?
Yeah.
When shit started breaking down and you see Brad and nobody knows what's happening.
The mass hysteria.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It's creepy and bone chilling because it could really happen.
And we talked about it when we were talking
Zombies can really happen.
No, the hysteria, the mass hysteria. You know what I'm talking about.
We talked about it in the filler episode, like of shows that we wanted to bring back and stuff like that. And the one I mentioned was Jericho.
Yeah,
and that's the same way. That's what makes that so good.
HBO always puts out great content, but one of the creators of the show, Damon Lindelof, he's responsible for World War Z. He wrote the screenplay for that. He also did Lost. He wrote most of the screenplays. Prometheus, wasn't that big of a fan, and I know you don't like the new Star Trek movies, so. Yeah.
But here's the thing about the Prometheus movie. I love Cracked, as you guys have known, and we've talked about before. They did an article recently. It was rewrites that really fucked up movies, and that was one of them.
Really?
Apparently, there was tons of stuff that explained everything and made the movie coherent, and instead, it all got rewritten and cut up.
Are you talking World War Z?
No, Prometheus.
Oh. Yeah, that movie was shitty. Not the best.
Not the best.
Next trailer, The Grand Seduction with Brendan Gleeson.
And Taylor Kitsch.
It kind of reminds me of this old movie I used to watch called Waking Ned Divine, where it's the small, quaint little town that wants to make it big, and for this one, it needs a doctor for this new factory to come into town. So they're trying to make this young doctor just feel welcome, like it's the greatest town in the world, and they're changing who they are. They know the doctor loves cricket, so they start trying to play cricket. They don't know what the hell they're doing, and they start spying on him. It just looks like a funny movie.
I like Brendan Gleeson a lot, so I really want to see it. And this is one of those roles where he's perfect for it.
Yeah.
You said it kind of reminded you of what movie you say?
Waking Ned Divine.
Waking Ned Divine. It kind of reminds me of a much older movie. Came out in like 1949, I think. It's called Whiskey Galore. Have you guys ever heard of it?
No, but it sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It's actually set like during World War II, so a few years before it came out. And it's this like small, tiny island off of the UK. And I think they're Irish is what they're supposed to be. But because of the war, they have a whiskey shortage. And And then there's like a big ship that like crashes off the coast of the island, and it's full of whiskey. But like because of the government and because of the war, they're not allowed to go out and get it. And it's freaking hilarious. It's a comedy about them basically going and trying to steal all the whiskey back.
Sounds awesome.
It's called Whiskey
Galore.
I am gonna watch it because that sounds hilarious.
It's really great. It's really great.
You realize how many good movies Brendan Gleeson's been in?
In Bruges,
Braveheart.
Yeah.
He's in the movie that looks really awesome. It's coming out. We'll talk about it in a minute. He was in
Troy. I like Troy.
What was he in Troy?
He was the evil king's brother.
Oh yeah,
and Eric Bana killed him.
He was in Mission Impossible 2, which
Gangs of New York.
Like. He was in AI, which I haven't seen. He was in 28 Days Later.
He wasn't.
That's right. He was the dad.
Oh man, that was a
That
fucking
was
sad
fucked up,
scene.
man.
He's done work.
Yeah,
He's done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I think still my favorite of his is In Bruges because
That's a great movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if I. What movie? Braveheart's so good, man. It's hard to go against it. That might be my favorite of his.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was in Harry Potter. I forgot.
Oh yeah, he was Moody. Okay, Harry Potter then.
Moody Mad Eye.
Yeah,
Mad Eye.
Mad Eye Moody.
Alastor, Mad Eye. But,
All right. So, and speaking of Brendan Gleeson, segue.
Yeah. I
He's
don't like
in
your segues. They make way too much sense.
Yeah, they make too much sense.
Calvary.
Yeah, he plays an Irish priest in some town.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy comes in the confessional booth one day, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and then it just goes from there. And it looks amazing.
Yeah. I like how Brendan Gleeson, after the guy tells him, "I have a confession, I'm gonna kill you," he's just like so nonchalant about it. He's like, "That's an interesting way to start a confession."
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, "Whoa, okay, he's gonna be a badass priest."
And
I thought it was going to turn out like he's a secret agent in hiding, and he just doesn't get. No, he's really just
That
a
would
priest.
be so terrible.
It would be terrible, but I thought that's the direction it was heading.
No, yeah, it's interesting how they take it. It's basically the whoever the criminal aspect of this is basically like, I'm going to give you time to get all your affairs in order and all this different stuff and like make amends with people. And I think that's basically what the story is going to be about, is Brendan Gleeson's character basically tying up all the loose ends in his life. And I mean, that's
and
what
trying to find out who it is.
well, trying to find out
kill
who's
him,
trying to
yeah.
do it, but I don't want to say that and make it seem like it's a big like mystery thriller where he's like tracking people down in the streets.
Right.
It's more like he's just talking to other people. Like, well, do you have anybody that's angry at you? And he's just going back and he's talking to all the people from his life. And I think it probably like as he's trying to find out stuff. And
Makes sense.
I know the main reason you're going to go see this because Aidan Gillen is in it.
I wasn't, because I didn't know he was in it, and before I had saw him in it, Aidan Gillen's Littlefinger, by the way. I wanted to see it because I'm a huge Brendan Gleeson fan.
Yeah, I am too. Next movie, Let's Be Cops. This movie looks fucking hilarious.
This is like seriously one of the funniest trailers I have seen in a while.
This might be my new Superbad.
You think so?
Yeah, it looks that funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the dude from... Well, both guys were from New Girl. The black guy was in the first episode. I haven't seen the new ones.
Yeah.
And then the other guy's Nick from New Girl. Which, by the way,
Nick,
if you
what,
haven't
Johnson,
watched that show, watch that show. It's fucking
Jake
hilarious.
Johnson.
Jake Johnson, yeah.
Yeah, and Damon Wayne
But
Jr.
yeah, it looks really, really funny.
Yeah.
They what is it? They go to a masquerade. Well, they think it's a costume party. They go up dressed as cops. They leave, and people think they're cops. So they're like, let's be cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They show up to a masquerade party and they're like, oh, fuck. So they turn around and leave.
Yeah, because they thought it was a costume party.
Turn around and leave, and as they're walking down the street, they realize, people think that they're cops.
Yeah.
So they just go along with it because they're getting a lot of attention from girls. And everything.
Looks genuinely funny.
So funny.
Although I'm not too excited about the director, the work he's done before. As you all know, I hate fucking Rob Schneider. And this guy is responsible for The Animal.
He did The Girl Next Door, though.
He did do The Girl Next Door.
That is a funny movie.
When it comes to comedies like this, though, the writing and the acting is the most important part. Directing, directors usually aren't getting real crazy with comedies. Generally, it's pretty straightforward shooting stuff.
But he also wrote it.
The Animal.
He also did Role Models.
No,
though.
I mean for this Let's Be Cops, he directed and wrote it.
Okay.
I'm going to give the guy a pass for that one Rob Schneider movie because he did Role Models and he did Girl Next Door.
Yeah.
Role Models is hilarious.
It is hilarious. Paul, I'm trying to think of a comedy that I've seen Paul Rudd in that I didn't think was funny. What? Think of one. Here, let me.
I don't know. Yeah, all the ones I can think of, I really like.
Yeah.
I Love You, Man.
Yeah.
I Love You, Man is my favorite comedy.
Is it really?
It is. I love that movie. I every time I watch it, the only comedy I could think that comes close to it for me would be like Dumb and Dumber, or the original Ace Ventura, or Waiting, or Scott Pilgrim. But I don't even know if Scott Pilgrim's really a comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
So let's see. Paul Rudd's been in so much shit. It's unbelievable.
Well, we'll save that. Maybe we'll come to him one day where we talk about actors and directors.
Yeah. Perfect.
The next movie we're going to talk about is Half of a Yellow Sun. It is the new Chiwetel Ejiofor movie about the establishment of the Independent Republic in Nigeria.
You might know him from 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah. Or he was the operative in Serenity. That's what I like.
I can't believe I forgot that.
That he was in Serenity?
Yes, because now he's that much cooler.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was creepy as dicks in that, by the way.
He was.
It was the first thing I thought of when I saw this trailer, and then Zach said it like right after I thought it.
Oh, it's an award movie?
Oh, yeah. I said, you know what that movie spells? Oscar.
This is going to be a nominated movie for the major awards. It's got to be. Like, it's just, it
the
fits that
trailer
mold.
could be nominated for an Oscar.
Anything that captures the suffering of a people and depicts it on screen always gets Oscar nominations.
Well, it's just... We talked about it before.
They're not good movies. Most of them are.
It's historical, and it's a social issue.
Yeah.
Put those together, Oscar, man. That's why Social Network didn't win, because it was just a social thing.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Has there got any more?
I don't think we have any more. This is an unnamed segment, so if you guys want to think of a name for it, all you listeners out there, come up with a cool name where
Balls Deep.
Yeah, Balls Deep. You know what? Actually, from now until you guys come up with a better name, this segment is called Balls Deep, where we talk about an actor's or director's history in their careers, and we just go through and we say what's good, what's bad. So this week we're going to talk about. Last week we talked about an actor, so this week we're going to talk about the directorial career of Danny Boyle.
Danny Boyle's done quite a few movies.
Most of them very, very good.
Yeah, I didn't get into a lot of his stuff until a little bit later. Besides Trainspotting.
Trainspotting
was the first one.
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
It's you should watch it. It's good.
It's right up your alley.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's on my watch list.
I think it's really... I love that. Like, I'm going through it, just looking at the list. In 1989, they did the TV movie Monkeys for National Geographic, it looks like, or something.
Ewan McGregor's in that. Sorry.
Families in the Wild.
Oh, yeah, Monkeys.
Yeah, it just looks really funny.
What is that? Monkeys?
It's like a BBC...
Like, TV movie documentary type thing.
Like penguins?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, okay. Right on. He did, he did Trainspotting.
Yeah, let's start from the very beginning. Trainspotting, which is a fantastic movie.
He did a movie called A Lifeless Ordinary, which I didn't even know existed. It's got Ewan McGregor and Cameron Diaz and Holly Hunter and Delroy Lindo, but it's only got a 6.4, 35 Metascore. Damn, that's not very good.
Yeah,
but I don't really listen to that anyway.
Yeah, I don't really either. 2000, he did The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio. I really like that movie a lot.
I've never actually seen that movie. Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, I've never seen it.
Not a lot of people like it. They're like, it's too weird.
I actually heard somebody talking about it the other day on a podcast I listened to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and how they didn't like it.
I like it a lot. It's they go to some Asian island, and they were talking to the locals and stuff. They're like, oh, we're just looking for a really cool place to hang out. That's away from everybody. Like, there's a secret island nobody knows about. You guys should go hang out there. And they go there, and half of the island is run by naturalists. They just smoke weed all day, and they just live like this utopian life, according to them. And the other half of the island is run by drug pirates.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So they have to don't cross this line, don't cross this line. This is their part of the island. You can stay over here with us.
And
of
course,
out.
They cross the line, don't they?
They cross the line.
Of course.
And it's all about how Leonardo DiCaprio just eventually starts going crazy on the island.
Nice.
I like it. Not a lot of people do, but I think it's pretty cool.
I guess it wouldn't be much of a move if he stayed on the right side of the aisle and just smoked weed with the hippies all day.
Yeah.
No.
And then it goes on to what I think is probably his greatest film of all time. That's 28 Days Later.
That was a damn good movie.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know if I'd say it's his best, but I do think it's very, very good.
It's my favorite of the movies he's done.
Yeah.
Christopher Eccleston's in that movie?
Yeah.
Shit.
So I like before that. It's a TV movie as well, but it's I've never seen it or anything like that. But I just love the name for it.
Oh, Vacuuming Completely Nude in Paradise.
Like, it's such a great name. It's probably horrible, but that's
I love 28 Days Later, but I'm one of the 1% of people that thought 28 Weeks Later was better.
Yeah, you are one of the very
Sorry,
few people.
I loved that movie.
It's nowhere near as good as 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
I like 28 Days Later. You know, you get Naomi Harris, Cillian Murphy, of course. Yeah, Eccleston, Doctor Who. Who else was Brendan Gleeson, of course. It was just a frightening movie.
It was really good.
I didn't get to see it in theaters, unfortunately, but I really, when I was in high school, I really wasn't into horror films all that much, so it was only later whenever I found out all those great movies.
He's done a couple things I haven't heard of. Sunshine, Millions.
You never seen Sunshine?
I've seen Millions.
No.
Okay, you talk about Millions because that came out before Sunshine then.
Yeah, it's not that great. It's okay. It's basically about this kid. He finds a bag of money in London, and it was right when they were basically switching the currency from sterling pounds to the euro, and he finds a bag of sterling pounds that are basically going to be worthless in like a week.
Oh,
and so it's basically, that's all it is.
damn.
Which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense when you think about it, because isn't there probably still a currency transfer?
You would think, and even if it was worth, if it still was worth something, it was going to be worth something. I'd just spend that shit.
Yeah. That's basically what it's about, though.
Huh. And you guys said
okay.
you've never seen Sunshine?
I haven't,
I know.
but I'm looking at the cast.
Yeah, it's
I'm
got Chris
Jesus.
Evans, Cillian Murray, Mark Strong. It's a movie about I think it's 2050 something. It's in the future, I know that. But the sun's dying, it's losing all of its power, so they send a team of astronauts up into space with a nuclear fission bomb to reignite the sun.
Wow.
It was actually a really cool movie. It was really trippy and different, but of course that's a Danny Boyle movie.
Yeah, that's Danny Boyle. Yeah,
That's the thing about his movies. They never show, what am I trying to say? Nobody in his movies has a straight normal frame of mind.
Yeah, it's
besides maybe Slumdog Millionaire.
And it's not a straightforward narrative either.
No.
He likes to jump in time a lot and do like hallucination or
sublime hallucination
stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's never just here's a story beginning to end.
Yeah.
So,
After Sun,
Slumdog Millionaire.
is that the next one?
That's
he
the
did?
next one he did that he's known for.
Wow.
Was Slumdog Millionaire.
Okay, Slumdog Millionaire, of course, won
Overrated.
best picture. You think it's overrated?
I do.
You don't think it should have... I like it.
I really like that
I'm not
movie.
saying it's not good. I just didn't think it. I didn't think it should have won the Oscar that year.
What was up that year?
I have no idea.
Man,
What's
I
up
had
that year.
this-
All I know is I like that movie.
I had this thought of before I came
Okay,
over here. And I
give a
forgot.
rundown of what Slumdog Millionaire was about, and then I'll find out what was up that year.
Okay, well, again, this is one that has a not straightforward storyline. It goes back and forth between time periods. I think the first scenes, isn't he in the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire seat?
Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
But the Indian version.
Yeah.
And he's answering questions, and basically he knows the answers to these questions because of his life experiences. Yeah. And then you go back in time, and basically from a young age, he grew up and was basically brought into essentially child slavery. I mean, they were used as prostitutes and everything else.
The quality of life in Mumbai and some of those places, it's atrocious.
I mean, the name of this movie kind of tells you everything. Slumdog, he grew up in the slums of Mumbai in India, and basically his way of getting out of that. And part of the movies, when they come back to current times, they're torturing him, trying to figure out how he knows the answers to all these questions because he's basically a street kid, and they're like, "How the hell are you doing this? You have to be cheating." But you know from watching the movie that he does know these things because he's experienced so many things at such a young age because he's had such a shitty life.
Yeah.
So I found the Oscar nominees for that year.
Yeah.
It went up against Benjamin Button, Frost Nixon, which I thought was terrible, Milk, and The Reader.
That year,
I
would've given
thought
it to-
Benjamin Button should have won.
I was going to say either Benjamin Button or Milk, probably.
Yeah.
I'd still put Slumdog Millionaire with both of them.
Over
Benjamin Button
Well,
and
you're
Milk.
wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not. You know what? Surprisingly, a lot of people don't like Benjamin Button.
It's not my favorite movie.
That's true.
It's just okay to me.
I thought it was cool. I liked it.
That was a cool idea.
I liked
but
it, especially the CGI of how they made Brad Pitt look super young and then super old. Like that one scene where he walks into the ballet and he's like, what, like 19 years old? You're like, holy shit!
He's like a fucking 3.5 hour movie.
It is.
I ain't got time for that shit.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, honestly, it is a very, very long movie. But Slumdog Millionaire, I don't know. It was probably in my top 2 that year.
Honestly, I think if Slumdog Millionaire wasn't coming out in that same year, I feel like Milk probably would have beat out Benjamin Button.
That's probably
just
true.
because of its content.
Yeah.
Then
That was
what-
the year The Wrestler. I thought The Wrestler should have won that year for Best Picture.
It should have
That was a
gotten a
great
nomination. It didn't even get a nomination.
The
That's
only thing that got
bullshit.
nominated was What's Her Face and
Mickey Rourke.
No, not his face, her face. So what was the other little girl?
Marissa Tomei. She
Yeah.
won. I thought she won.
Did she win? I don't
Mickey
remember.
Rourke got nominated, but he didn't win.
Yeah, What's His Face won for Best Actor. Milk.
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn.
Fuck that guy.
You know, you can hate an actor for their social life and just how douchey they are, but you got to respect how good of an actor
Oh
they
no,
are.
I respect him. I'm not saying that. But
Like Mystic River, are you kidding me? The movie's amazing.
All right, so we got
Then he's
127 hours.
127.
I
hours,
love
yeah.
that movie. That movie's so freaking good.
It's, I'm not always a huge James Franco fan actually, but I thought I liked him in this movie a lot. Of course, it's because he didn't really talk, but you haven't seen 127
Are you
hours?
shitting me,
Here's-
dude?
And then I'll explain myself. I saw the preview. I love James Franco. The movie creeps me out, and it's because I could see that happening to me.
It's a true story.
Right? But B,
They have the interview with the real guy at the end.
I was actually going to.
just-
It was a couple years ago before the movie came out. I actually was watching National Geographic, and they were talking to Aaron Ralston,
Yeah.
the main guy, and it was just him. They took him back to the real place, and he's like, "I got to go. I don't want to be here right now." And it was an intense movie.
the movie, I don't think I would like it.
Yeah, I
And the
actually think
reason
you would.
is I don't know, man. I just don't. I don't know.
I definitely say give it a try because
Absolutely.
I love it.
That scene where he has to. Okay, there's no spoiler here. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen the movie by now, and even if you haven't, you know what it's about.
Yeah, I know everything about
You know he cuts his arm off.
They show everything.
The part where he has
The
to
nerve.
cut through the nerve is the
Oh.
most it's the worst thing you will ever see in your life. Like
it's the sound.
it's just so intense. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's
But it's
like
great.
he touches the nerve in his arm with the knife, and it has that high frequency sound. It's
like nails on a chalkboard shit.
it makes it makes your teeth want to crack. It just it's awful.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, but essentially, except for like the first few minutes, he's in the same spot through the entire movie.
But he keeps having like hallucinations and flashbacks
and stuff like that,
Right.
Which is Danny Boyle to a T. So
Exactly, yeah. You've seen his next movie, Trance.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8, but right now it's got a 7 on IMDb. It's James McAvoy and Rosario Dawson, Vincent Castle, and James McAvoy is this art auctioneer dude, and he gets mixed up with some art criminals, that steal shit, and the movie just goes from there. But it has this ending that completely threw me for a loop at the end. It's really good. A lot of people I know that have actually seen it didn't care for it. I liked it a lot.
I'll have to give it. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, so
Got nothing else to do today.
I get to go to work.
That's it.
Well, we do know of some news, but I wanted to hold on to this piece of news.
After that, I want to talk about a movie that's getting tons of buzz that actually might beat out the Yellow Sun movie for Oscar.
Oh, okay. But this is Danny Boyle / news. As we all know, David Fincher was X'd out of the...
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Biopic.
How come every single fucking time I do research on stuff, I know the names off the top of my head, but as soon as we start recording the fucking podcast, my mind goes blank and I can't remember anybody's name. Yes, David Fincher is out for the Steve
It's
Jobs
all that
movies.
LSD, man.
It must be. I think we have like a carbon monoxide leak in this room or something. But yeah, David Fincher and Christian Bale are out for the Steve Jobs movie. Who they got to replace him? Danny Boyle to direct it, and Leonardo DiCaprio is in talks to do Steve Jobs.
Oh, he's in talks. I thought you said he was signed.
No, in talks.
Then I don't think that's going to happen.
Because he doesn't look like him.
He could pull it off. If anybody could pull it off, it's Leo.
I think he has the acting chops to do it, but yeah, I don't think he looks even close to him.
Yeah, I think they'll end up getting somebody else.
We were talking a couple weeks ago, I think it was episode 7, who we thought we would want to replace David Fincher. We couldn't really think of anybody. I said Ron Howard maybe could do it.
But I think Danny
I
Boyle's
totally forgot about Danny Boyle.
Danny Boyle's
Great
good.
choice.
I am all for this because maybe we'll get some into the mind of what it's like going through cancer with, Steve Jobs, and Danny Boyle's the one to capture that.
Yeah, who knows? Obviously, I'm a huge David Fincher fan. I would have loved to see him do it.
Yeah.
But as a
Still got Aaron
replacement goes...
Sorkin.
It does still have Aaron
Sorkin,
Sorkin writing it, so if you have like the unique mind of Danny Boyle with the brilliant writing of Aaron Sorkin, this might...
It ought to be fun to watch.
Exactly. I think if anyone could pull it off, I think he's the one.
Exactly. So you wanted to pitch a movie that you thought...
Yeah, so my wife actually turned me on to this movie. It's a Richard Linklater film. And Richard Linklater is known for, real quick before I get into this movie, he did Before Midnight, he did Bernie with Jack Black, he's done...
I liked Bernie a lot. It was a funny movie.
He did A Scanner Darkly, which is very good. He did the Bad News Bears remake with Billy Bob Thornton. He did School of Rock, so on and so forth. He's doing this movie that comes out sometimes this year. It comes out July 11th, actually. It's called Boyhood, where it starts out with this kid who is age 5, and he follows him through his life to age 18. He's been filming this movie for 13 years. He really did this. He followed this kid. It's got Ethan Hawke and Patricia Arquette and some other people in it. But the movie has got a 96 on Metacritic. And there's people Peter Travers, there's tons of people saying that this movie is legit. And I've never heard of this concept.
Yeah.
But man, if he pulls it off, that's a hell of a feat.
If he does, that's awesome. And I'm, if I hadn't known what these scores were given and such, I would say, this is going to be a horrible, horrible decision.
Oh, on the surface, it sounds terrible.
Sounds like a horrible idea.
But I saw a preview for it, and it looks good.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's just
I'm going to give it a shot because the concept is fascinating to me.
Yeah, no, definitely a interesting film concept to devote that much time with one person. Yeah. Who knows? It could be great.
And Linklater's not a bad director. He's done some good stuff. So it'll be interesting to watch.
Speaking of following 13-year-old boys around, I think it's time for IMDb Idiots.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Yes, that one was perfect.
You're killing me, man.
Perfect.
All right. You fools need to get... I'm hosting this week. The lovely Zach Chadwick. You fools need to be out of eyeshot of my iPad.
All right, I'm putting mine away.
For this. So the first movie up is a drama. Came out in 1975. I'm going to give you a co-star, not the star, because then you'll know. Brad Dourif.
I'm going to need
Danny
more than
DeVito.
Wait, is Danny DeVito?
Yeah, I was like, what was the category, or was the genre?
It's a drama.
Drama.
1975. Danny DeVito, Brad Dourif, and I can't give you the star man because you'll know he's super famous for this movie. It won an Oscar.
Holy shit.
My God, man. I know just because I'm a huge Brad Dourif fan.
Okay, here's the thing.
We know I'm not good at this game.
Okay, here's the thing. Every single time I think of Danny DeVito in an older movie, it's always twins. So
no, it's older than that, man.
I know, but I'm saying as I can only think of either Danny DeVito and
I think it was the Penguin.
It's got an 8.8 on IMDb. It's got a 79 Metascore.
What's it ranked on IMDb?
It is number 15.
Dang.
Shit.
Are there more than one of these movies made? Is there?
No. Okay. This is the one and only.
Who directed it?
Milos Forman.
No idea.
It's not helping at all.
Let me see if I can find another co-star that you might recognize, because I thought you would have gotten it with one of those two. Christopher Lloyd is in this movie.
This is all you, buddy. I got no idea.
Back to the... No, he wasn't in Back to the
It's
Future.
before that.
Oh, I know it. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Very
Nice.
good.
Oh,
I've not.
Starring-
if you would have said Jack Nicholson, then
That's why I
Yeah.
didn't say Jack Nicholson.
I haven't
Alright.
seen that movie in almost probably 10
I
years.
totally forgot about
Great
that.
movie.
If you would have told me you said it won an Oscar. If you'd have told me it won like 9 Oscars, I would have been.
Well, I'm not gonna give it away, man. Come on.
I totally forgot he was in that.
All right, where's my other movie? I had it on here.
You know, I won
Balls.
last week, and that was my first time, and I
Oh, here
knew
it
it was a one-time
All right.
event.
So,
It's not over yet.
2000 drama. Jared Leto.
Oh, it's
Also has
Shut up.
Christopher
It's
McDonald.
Requiem for a Dream.
Nope.
I'm sorry, man. All right, last one. Since we'll do 3. 2000 comedy crime. Actually, that's not fair because you guys will get that just from that description.
What?
Yeah.
Don't tease us. What was it? I'm curious now.
Snatch.
Oh, no, probably wouldn't have.
Well, okay.
It's all
fine,
a bunch of
fucking
English
right.
actors. I probably wouldn't have known.
All right,
that
here.
If you
before.
would have said Brad Pitt, I would
Yeah.
Here, we'll go with this one. This is a classic. I fucking love this movie. 1995 action drama starring John Voight. It's one of the stars.
Anaconda.
No. John Voight, Ashley Judd.
Drama action.
There's 3 people in this movie I can't give it because you'll know. 4 actually.
Well, give me one of those.
No. You have Ashley Judd. And who else did I say?
John Voight.
I can't give you that guy. Directed by Michael Mann.
Action. What?
John
Action
Voight movie
drama.
director. Wait, it's not Heat, is it? Is it Heat?
Heat.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I couldn't say Sizemore because you would have known.
Yeah.
Val Kilmer, Al Pacino,
Yeah.
Robert De Niro.
I forgot.
This is like-
I forgot Ashley Judd was in that movie.
I
you
didn't
know who
even
you should have
realize.
said? You should have said Natalie Portman.
She wasn't in it.
Yeah, she was Pacino's daughter.
No, she was.
Swear to
Holy
God.
shit, she was.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me.
I think it was her second movie after she did Leon the
Hank
Professional.
Azaria's in that movie too.
Yeah.
That's a great movie. That's like one of only 2 Al Pacino movies that I like.
It is the greatest heist movie of all time. Out of all the bank robbery movies, it's number
I
one.
haven't seen The Score with Marlon Brando and Robert De Niro and Edward Norton because that's supposed to be really, really good.
You know what other one I really, really like, and I hope you guys have seen it? It's called Inside Man with
Yes.
Clive Owen.
That is
and
a great movie.
I love that movie.
Isn't that Spike Lee?
It is Spike
That's
Lee.
one of only 2 Spike Lee movies I like.
I can't think of any other Spike Lee movie I
the
like.
only other one I like, well, 3. He did The 25th Hour with Edward Norton, and then he did He Got Game with Denzel Washington, which is really good.
I thought you were going to say the new Old Boy remake, which I haven't seen, but I hear is not that good.
No, because I didn't think the foreign film was that good either.
Yeah. Well, you dumb.
I know, I'm a terrible person.
Speaking of you being dumb, I think it's time we wrap this shit up, guys.
God.
Yeah, it's time. We've been going for an hour, and I think we won't have anything else.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for listening today. As we always say at the end of the podcast, if you'd like to listen to more, please subscribe on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter. You can like us on Facebook. But the most important of all, subscribe on iTunes.
Do it.
Where the
And-
numbers really matter. We'd also like to thank Podomatic. They're the ones who give out the content for our podcast. And you can also subscribe to us on their website at podomatic.com. To all the Seaites out there, we thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you next week. Take it easy.
Thank
See
you
you guys.
Bye.